All right, Steve. So oh crap. I stole my own thunder. All right, Steve. So reading, writing, listening, speaking. Those are the four arts. Well, arts? Yeah, I guess we'll say arts.
Arts or skills,
or
I don't mind either. I think that the
yeah,
distinction, if a student has come to be in love with those four things because they know how to do them well and because they've done
then the
them,
art. Good.
yeah, then it's art. That's right.
Okay, I gotcha. So maybe reading starts as a skill but becomes an art when you practice it because you love it rather than because you have an assignment due in the next half hour or
Right.
something.
See,
And okay, cool. So
that's one of the
go
things.
ahead.
That's one of the things that kind of cracks me up is I get condemned all the time about being impractical. So if the heart of education is wisdom and virtue, is this really all you need? Reading, writing, listening, and speaking? Well, yeah. That'll
Yes.
get you to wisdom and virtue faster than any other skills in the boat. But if the heart of education, as many people define it, is preparing to make as much money as I can and grab all the power I can get and be the very best me in America that I can be, are these four things the essential bare minimum? Well, emphatically, yes. If you're a really good persuasive communicator, you're going to make a lot of money potentially. I mean,
That's
if you
right.
look at what people are trying to hire, they want people who could communicate. Geez, can I go this far and say they want people that can think?
Yeah, and exactly. So that's what I'm thinking is so key, right? Thinking is the skill or the art that undergirds all four of these things. You might even say that reading, writing, listening, and speaking are the four like ways of expressing um, your thinking. Although I don't know, I think there are some pretty interesting scholars out there who are like doing work in terms of like saying things like writing isn't like you don't sit down and write what you think. You sit down, you start writing, and you're thinking as you are writing. And through the process of writing, you actually do some good thinking that you could not have done without that. Right. So,
Yeah, I think it's a
in,
chicken and the egg
right,
argument. It probably starts with thought, but certainly writing makes you think a lot more clearly.
right. And so, I couldn't find I couldn't find the guy who said it, unfortunately. But in one of my readings for one of my classes that I'm in, there was this guy who said, sort of in response to the blowback that he was getting as a writing teacher, he sort of quipped this saying that I just think is absolutely fantastic. His response was, we are not trying to produce better writing. We're trying to produce better writers, right? So whether or not some draft that one of my students makes is better or worse than some standard that you have, that matters less to me than whether or not my student is becoming a better writer. That is, whether my student is becoming a better thinker.
Yep. Yep.
Right. So it's got to be. I just love that distinction, and I think it's so helpful because for Steve, we're a couple of humanities guys, but it's every bit as true on the other side, right? I'm not trying to produce better experiment results. I'm trying to produce better experimenters.
Right.
I don't want more correct math answers. I want better mathematicians.
Right.
And it changes the focus from the product that the student is producing, which there is this whole like you will be judged by your fruit thing that we would definitely not deny, but eventually, like, that's going to come. What we need to be focusing on, though, as teachers, is not an artifact that they're producing, but our primary focus needs to be on the cultivation of the student.